Jason Gray paved the way, changed the rate, released the pain, least you sane, getting paid, trend setting, brighter days, doper rap, tighter sets, high and deadly, I'm a fighter jet, journey.
What's really good, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Urban Wrestling Network, Major League Podcast, MLW Confusion, Muffins Martinez, Rob K, which for some reason these pictures always change where we're located, so sometimes I be pointing at nothing. He wants to show his signed Myron his shirt. No idea why, but Rob K did really dope. Huh?
Well, if he's going to show off his Muerte stuff, I have a mask. I'm special too.
Oh,
where's the camera at? There it is.
Is it signed?
No. It was just purchased online.
Doesn't mean the tame then.
Luchadores do not come down around these parts terribly much out in the middle of the Midwest. Like I have to travel like at least an hour to have like an authentic luchadores show up, and I'm dropping everything this weekend to go check out Azteca Lucha Saturday. So I'm going to get my fill in and all that stuff. Unfortunately, though, no Mills/King Muertes on that.
You know what, Rob? Since you did this amazing spreadsheet you showed us, and we literally told you a few seconds ago before hitting the record button that we're going to throw the entire thing on your back, and we're going to piggyback off of your amazing display.
Yes.
Want some the history of BattleRiot? Let's get it in. Which all you sucker fake podcasters on MLW shit act like you do this, you don't do this. Rob, do it to him.
All right, so I'm going to preface this, which I didn't write any. Like he warned me, like I'm going to give the history of it, and then I proceeded to not do anything about like an actual history of it. I just wrote a spreadsheet and a batch of notes that I thought were really interesting.
Way more professional than what we would have done.
Hey, well, it's as we put in our chat, we have joked about it, but as part of the MLW Confusion Patreon, this year and last year, I did like a comprehensive like stat list of the WWE's Royal Rumble. So like that was 25 years of like people, everybody who showed up, how long they lasted, how many people that were eliminated. And we were just talking about like, hey, what can we do for this chat? What can we do for, BattleRiot's come up? What can we do special about it? I'm like, hey, I did one for Royal Rumble. I can do something like this for BattleRiot. And there's only been like 5 BattleRiots. So it shouldn't take me that long, which was almost a lie. It did take me like an entire day. Luckily, like I don't have much of a life, and the wife had other things that she could do. But yeah, so hopefully if you're watching this podcast, you know what BattleRiot is. It is MLW's variation of the Royal Rumble. The big difference is, 1, there are 40 people in the BattleRiot, and 2, not only can you throw your opponents over the top rope to the arena floor, you can also pin them or make them submit, and that also counts as elimination. So those are 2 big differences. But again, the winner goes on to get a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship, and actually has a very good record. I didn't write that stat down because I didn't pay that much attention, but I think only LA Park was unsuccessful. I take that back. Jacob Fatu failed too. So okay, the odds just went down a bit because we only have a sample size of 5. So okay, strike that from the record. That's why I didn't write it down, because evidently it wasn't that impressive. But yeah, so this spreadsheet has everybody who's popped into a BattleRiot. At least in an official capacity. Like there's been like some extra like Sendai deaths in there that technically didn't get named. I think like there's extra Lucha Goons that like swarmed the ring at 1.2 have to reset. I couldn't find good statistics for how long competitors were in the match, and when I tried to math it myself, the math didn't work out correctly. So I think there was some we'll call it TV math to be done in there, because somehow people were being eliminated before they showed up in the match. But then again, like, and I'm going to throw out there that's not just MLW who uses TV math. Like almost anybody who battle royals does a TV math. But yeah, so there was like 144. I have the spreadsheet pulled up now. So like there was like over the course of the 5 years, there was like 141 different competitors that have appeared in at least one BattleRiot in official capacity. Obviously, we've only had 5 winners, and they've been pretty much the cream of the crop of MLW's crowd. Almost all have either won the championship or or used it as a platform to win the championship, or was already champion in the case of Jacob Fatu. The only exception to that rule was LA Park, who did have a banger of a match with Jacob Fatu. I can't remember what episode of Fusion that was, so definitely like go through the history banks and check that out, and hopefully you have like slightly better stats than I do.
Was that the one where Salina got speared to the table?
Yeah, that was
and that was in Chicago. That was the last time they were there. So
yeah,
that should be fun.
I remember watching that and going like, oh man, like that's probably like the best match Parka has had like in quite some time, considering like how immobile he's kind of gotten there toward the last couple of years. That was
a banger.
Yeah, that was.
He is pushing 60, so
Oh yeah. No faults necessarily on that one. Make that money. But I don't know. As I said, like I didn't come up with like a proper history of it. I just wrote down random stats that like I thought were interesting. But like one of my favorite stats, and I've done this like for the WWE, and I can't remember what the ratio was, but in BattleRiot, 57% of all of the participants didn't eliminate anyone. They have 0 eliminations. Period.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so 80 people appeared in BattleRiot and didn't eliminate anybody. Again, we're looking at people also like there's at least 2 different calling soldiers that have showed up, didn't get an elimination. Any of the Aztecas never got an elimination, and despite maybe appearing in multiple years. Kim Chi has been has been a fixture in like the last like 3 BattleRiots, no elimination. To piggyback on that, speaking of no eliminations though, and now I'm just rattling. My absolute favorite stat that I picked up on here is the ascent of Alex Kane. Alex Kane, his first 2 BattleRiot appearances, goose egg, did nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like I don't know how long he was in because I didn't have those numbers, but didn't eliminate anybody. And then the year he won, the last BattleRiot that he won, he got the effing Roman Reigns treatment. He went from start to finish, bell to bell, and then like broke like all the records. I know, like I do have a number for him because like I did get like the N number since he was number 1. But yeah, he was in BattleRiot for 41 minutes, nearly 42 minutes, 41:59. In the process, eliminated 11 people, which I believe is a record as well. No, I take that back. That is not a record. Jacob Fatu still has the record for that. And his percentage is better. He has 13 eliminations in 3 BattleRiots compared to Kane's 11 eliminations over 3 BattleRiots. But it's all in one. Wow. That year was crazy. Like he got like full on Roman Reigns treatment where he laid on the mat for quite some. I remember this one because he laid on the mat for like half of it, and then just like choked everybody out. But he got 11. Like he also was one of 2 people who got the trifecta in one BattleRiot. He had at least 1 submission, 1 pinfall, and 1 over the top. Of those eliminations, he had 1 pinfall, 7 submissions, which is crazy, go nuts. And then
Taya was one of those submissions.
She was.
Yeah, and then 3 over the top. The only other person to do all 3, well, actually, I think the only people to do all 3, period, is Filthy Tom Lawler.
Isn't he the only person that's been eliminated twice in the same?
He is technically LA Park one year. Like LA Park was announced, and then it turns out like he was Tom Lawler after he got eliminated early, then come back in as Tom Lawler, and I have that in my notes as well. Also,
I'm pretty sure Savio Vega too. Savio Vega asked himself.
Yeah, but his was tongue in cheek. He was not. He was actually billed as someone else, and it wasn't just a plan to get back in. Because he also famously is Kwang, the evil ninja, for us old people. Also for those of you not in the know, Savio's like first gimmick in the WWF at the time was Kwang, the evil ninja, and they put him under a mask.
I never knew that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it didn't last long. So they did, and then they ditched the mask, and he became Razor Ramon's Puerto Rican biggest fan. So he's not technically been acknowledged as a like repeat multiple gimmick person.
It's different.
Yeah, like it's tongue in cheek that he shows up. Yeah. So unlike the Royal Rumble, where like you do have a bunch of guys, like a handful of guys that did like appear under various gimmicks over the years. Savio is pulling an unannounced Mick Foley kind of thing. Unfortunately, doesn't have the 3 gimmicks. He just has the 2.
Now, which was the weirdest thing that you have there?
Oh, like weirdest? Teddy Hart is technically like no one's ever touched him to be eliminated. Like he's been in 2 Battle Riots, and one he eliminated himself, which I need to find footage of that one. But knowing Teddy Hart, he probably just like jumped off the top rope on somebody because that's what Teddy Hart kind of does. And he has precedent. I think he did that in Wrestling Society X as well. Eliminated himself from a Battle Royal because he wanted to jump on someone a la Mil Mascaras. And then he was officially announced and technically was a participant in the second Battle Riot, but was concussed and didn't get to participate. So like he got to be in 2. The only other person that technically was eliminated like without like a official elimination was Jacob Fatu. Actually, he in his first Battle Riot, he was actually removed by security, and if I remember correctly, it's because he tried to light a dude on fire. It was when Contra was at their height, and to show how dangerous they were, like Fatu just like killed a dude and then was like, let's light him on fire too. And like when Samael started to help out, security like bum rushed him and like let him out. So he was never like formally eliminated, but they disqualified him a la like Finlay, except Finlay didn't try to light anybody on fire. He just used a shillelagh and no one liked it.
You've got mail.
What's the best stat?
Pardon?
Which one's the best stat you have?
The best stat? I don't know. That's really subjective. I said like my favorite thing was the Alex Kane ascent. Like I did think that was like crazy go nuts how like he did nothing and then they just like flipped a switch on him and like he's magic. Other like stats that I did pull up per year most eliminations and broke them down. So Battle Riot 1, Tom Lawler eliminated the most people, but Barrington Hughes got the most pins and over the top rope, and then Lawler actually submitted someone that year. 2019, MJF, AEW's MJF was the star with the most eliminations and most pinfalls off that. However, he could not pull off a trifecta as Minoru Tanaka got the most submissions and Davey Boy Smith Jr. did the most over the top rope that year. 2021, EJ and Duca was a beast, chucking people around. He went nuts, and like I do have. Okay,
I was there for that one. Yep.
Yeah, like he like dumped like 12 people, and they were like all over the top. They were all over the top rope. I'm actually looking at that one now. He is exclusively just dump people over the ropes.
Yes. That's where I thought that they were going to pull the trigger on him and put him at the top.
Yep.
I think if he would have stayed, they probably would have. Because like the last thing he did was that thing with Hammerstone, and then he disappeared. So I wonder if he was
he
stuck
went
around.
from almost being a champion to taking pictures on Twitter.
Yeah,
that's what he does now. Post pictures and talks. Oh, soon. He's been saying soon for the last 2 years.
Yeah. Which like I don't understand that one. 2022, Jacob Fatu had the most eliminations. And then like everybody like got one pinfall that year. Like Homicide, Fatu, Killer Cross, Juicy Finale, and Magnus Kruger all had like one pinfall. And then Davey Boy Smith and Joel Maximo of all people got a submission in the match as well. And then, as I said, last year Kane, he actually tied for most pinfalls with Lindsay Dorado, Microman, Mance Warner, and Raven. And then
Microman.
Yeah. Well, Microman had an assist from Lindsay Dorado though.
Yeah.
And I didn't bother to do enough research to break down in like sacks, so it's like 0.5.
Please. I'm trying to figure out who would or how did Barrington Hughes get eliminated. Because I remember, and that dude was like almost 400, 500 pounds.
Yeah, like he was a big, like, kind of like, no pun intended, kind of a big deal for 10 minutes in the early days of the relaunch.
Yeah.
I remember, like, I think it was him. Like, they made him out to be a big deal, and they also had AC Romero, who's a big dude. Not as big as he used to be. He's made a point to lose quite a bit of weight.
Yeah, this Barrington dude.
But like they had like a super duper heavyweight battle at one point. But I want to say Barrington and like that part I don't like. I don't have like who eliminated who written down because that's just a bunch of stuff. But I want to say,
do you have the top? Do you have everyone who won them?
Yeah.
Well, last year was Kane.
Yeah, Kane.
Last year was Hammerstone.
Yeah,
Hammerstone.
Kane is like Kane, Fatu, Hammer, LA Park, and Tom Lawler.
There you go.
I was there for Hammerstone when he won.
Yeah, because they reversed roles.
Yeah,
he took it from Fatu, and then they came back.
And then later that year, he beat Fatu to become the champion.
He's got to be arguably one of the worst MLW champions. He was boring as shit.
Who, Hammerstone?
Hell yeah, that was your man. We were on here arguing. You were like,
yeah, that was like the biggest fight that you guys were having when I started with over here. Was like,
so like we mentioned before, is I think we were coming back from COVID at that time.
Yeah,
or something started changing, and they they didn't give them enough real good storylines or opponents.
Well, but again, like whether whoever's fault it was, like it just wasn't overall a great reign. Like,
listen, when you think of Hammerstone at his finest, was when he was with MJF and Richard Holiday, and you were like, "Oh shit, this guy's official." The next run that he was official, he had Richard Holiday, who was fucking nuclear, right? Like Richard Holiday was killing it with what's that Canadian girl?
Alicia too.
Alicia too.
Yeah, like that storyline was great, and then after that, it was all downhill.
Yeah,
because then he got sick.
Yeah, and then Hammerstone by himself, you're like, all right.
Yeah, but look at what he's doing on Impact now.
I have no idea. I don't watch it.
But if you stay up to date, not even watch it, go to YouTube.
Well, you showed me. He had a dope promo. There. I was like, oh shit.
He's getting some shine. He's getting some good opponents. Alexander and stuff like that.
He had Fatu. He had mad opponents in MLW. He just, bro, he's just not that guy.
Fatu, that was it.
He's not that guy.
Well, to you, he's not.
I'm glad. Good riddance. I don't want to see him no more.
What else you got there, Rob K, that's of interest?
Somehow I missed it. Talking about another, a couple of interesting things. Lance N.W.A is like, we'll call him Mr. Reliable. He is the only person who's been in every BattleRiot up to this point. I assume we'll be breaking that streak this year. But he's always just like shown up out of the blue to do BattleRiot.
So he might show up. He might.
He could. But I don't know. He didn't seem too happy leaving. So this last time around. So, but then again, never say never in the wacky world of professional wrestling. And I think I didn't do hardcore research, but I was doing something and then it stuck out to me. Lince Dorado might be the only person who entered at the same number multiple years. He came in twice at number 4. Like that was his number. Like that I just thought was random AF. Of course, Taya Valkyrie is the only featherweight or woman to appear in any of the battle riots. Of course, she popped in before the division was even a thing technically.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you think we see Janai Kai? Because she's aggressive.
It wouldn't full on surprise me. I mean, I am all for. I mean, not that Taya's terribly intimidating overall.
Yeah, but that's a bigger girl. She's
thick, but
yeah,
but still, like, not as much as I love Microman. If you're gonna let Microman in, like, there's no reason why even like a Zeta couldn't be in there. So, I mean,
listen, Zeta right now is my favorite female in MLW. Zeta for featherweight champ. I hope she comes out and dominates because whoever wins this one wins the belt, right?
Yeah.
She got a pin Janai Kai.
Yeah, and actually, if they're for her character, that would be the best way for her to win the title. Would basically have Kai knock out, say, Delmy with that sick kick, and then Zeta just comes in, bum rushes Janai Kai out of the ring, steals the pinfall, she doesn't even have to look like a badass, so it totally fits Zeta's character.
Well, my question is, she's about to go on the 25th to Marigold in a tag team match in Japan. So, I mean, this will be the last that we see her in MLW to go there full time, or do we think she's going to be going back and forth?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if she. I mean, how many gaijin like make a full-time living in Japan, just in general? Like, so as long as she can come back, you know, be available, say once a month,
Rob,
or maybe even another month.
Rob, you know what he tried to do? He tried to rain on my parade, right? You were selling it, right? We're on the same stand. You're like, yo, I got that fire over here, 2 for 5, and then he comes over talking about, oh, send her to Japan. We won't see her again. Yo, why you do that? Why everybody I like can't be around?
Hey, man, I'm just stating the facts of what's going to happen on the 25th.
I know. I mean,
calling you Muffins Rain
the first Marigold show.
Over here.
The first Marigold show.
I mean, we could just be my sentimental pick, just because she's a friend of the show, Delmy Exo, and she's got Cesar, and she's got Cesar's backing right now too. So you know, there's an X factor.
Before, so
yeah, but you, what do you call it? You like you said on the last podcast, if Bad Dude Tito wins the belt, that means Bad Dude Tito brings the belt over, and that would have the power in what's her name's Salina de Renta. If Delmy Exo wins it and they still have Mystico, they now have 2 belts over the other one. Yeah. So it to me that might be the one that tilts the what do you call those things? Pendulum or whatever. The scale. There you go.
So, I didn't think about that. That'd be really kind of like the title scene overall could be very interesting with the feud between those factions. Yeah, because Mystico's defending the middleweight championship in the main event. I doubt he'll lose it to Cavernario.
And we know Promociones Dorado is going to win and be the force that is supposed to be going forward after Saturday. So
who?
De La Renta, man. She'll get that key.
Oh, hell no. Yo, bro, she's going to join them.
Open the door to the Buick.
She's going to join them.
She's going to open the door to the Buick, the Cadillac Seville versus Chicago with the bouncy and the little tires and the hydraulics in the car.
You get the lowrider.
Let's go. Yeah, the lowrider. Let's go.
Listen, I got to rain on your parade because at the end of this, she's going to join El Jefe and Azteca Underground. Watch.
Yeah.
Watch.
Mama de la Renta comes in and brokers peace between the factions.
Yeah.
Rob, you're on to something.
I already said that Cesar is secret daddy to Salina. So you know.
Mama de la Renta,
Mr. Creative Team over here, who hasn't gotten a call back from MLW regarding his
Word
application.
Up, that's some bullshit.
Mama de la Renta's going to be off the loop. Mama de la Renta's going to be the peacekeeper. She's going to be the key.
She's going to be.
Is she the key?
She's going to be the godmother.
Yeah, she's going to be the key.
Madrina, let's go.
She's gonna broker the peace treaties between both of them.
She's totally gonna be like family can't be fighting, and everybody's gonna be like, what?
Rob,
and Vince Russo's gonna come on screen. I told you, bro. Swerve, bro.
All right, so we talked some BattleRiot shit. We got one more popping for y'all, and then we'll come back to y'all next week after Aztec Lucha show. So, ladies and gentlemen, Rob K, who broke it all down so we could get on this shit. Muffins Martinez, OG Boricua Dandada. We out of here. Deuces. No balloons.